Hey guys, this is Cal Knight with Watch Trading Academy, and today we're going to share more content with you. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, subscribe below. We're always sharing amazing content to help you buy, sell, and trade watches to make money. And today we're out here down in sunny Florida and going to interview some people about luxury timepieces to see just how much they actually know about what's worth it, what's not worth it, what makes money, and if there's any convolution in the market when it comes to what good watches are and what good investments are versus not. So let's go ask some people what's going on. Let's see what they think. John, pleasure to meet you, John. Yeah, and I talked to John because he was wearing a watch and I thought it was an Apple Watch. It is not.
It's an Invicta.
It's an Invicta, and it's a two-tone Invicta. It looks like it has steel and some gold trim on it. And it was interesting because I actually thought it was a Rolex Submariner with a two-tone.
That's why I got it.
Then I was like, oh, that's why you got it.
Yeah.
See, now, okay, this is interesting, guys. A lot of people are looking at watches because the designs look similar to other brands. So just so you know, what we like to do is just get people's perspective on what they think are good watches, which ones they think are kind of shit watches.
Right.
You know, what's out there? What do you think you know as brands, and like what's
I used to be like really into Movados. I think they're a little bit played out now.
Okay.
I'm into the Invictas just because of the price point and the styling of them. Mm-hmm. I own an Apple Watch, but I don't wear it unless I'm working out. You know what I mean? It's got great utility to it, but from a style point, these are my favorite now. I own a bunch of Invictas, the Submariner knockoff. You know, so.
I love that. This is funny. But okay, so you own a bunch of Invictas.
Yeah.
Where did you hear about? Like, how do you know the brand? Just because you see it everywhere, or because like your buddies have them?
You know, I'm actually I'm a car salesman, right? So I actually spotted one on a customer, and I pointed out I thought that it was a Submariner, and I complimented him on it, but it wasn't. Mm-hmm. And then kind of from there on, I started spotting that they weren't actual Submariners.
Right.
And I was looking around.
Right.
Some people had ones that just looked like them. But I love Rolexes, tags. I don't know. Boliva's a good price point too. Like, you know, a couple $100, you get a nice Boliva.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So Rolex, Tag Heuer, Bulova, all these names that are well known. So the interesting thing, and what we always try to help people understand and teach people about at Watch Trading Academy, which we do, is a lot of times people think they can't afford timepieces because they see it and they're like, dude, that's so expensive. Like, why would I ever drop that much on a watch? But the difference is some brands don't hold their value, and some brands do hold their value.
Right, yeah.
So if you know what you're doing, it's kind of like looking at like a Prius that's mass produced, and then like some of those like Ferraris, and people are like, oh, that looks like a huge expense, but if you buy it right, technically it's an asset.
That's true,
so it's pretty interesting.
I would love to get like, I was thinking about getting a Breitling and financing it. So that's one of my goals, to actually get a Breitling or get a nicer watch eventually.
Nice. Actually, this is a really good point. So my cameraman here, Alex, you can't see it, is wearing a Breitling Super Ocean.
Right.
And a lot of people look at that. It's a beautiful watch. It's a great daily watch. And yeah, I can take it off your wrist right here. I want to show you this. So this is a Breitling Super Ocean Heritage right here. Beautiful, beautiful watch, and I think retail new, this thing costs probably about like $5,000.
Yeah, that thing's nice.
So people are like, okay, that's, you know, maybe I don't want to drop $5,000 at once. Right. But if you buy this pre-owned, you can get it for $2,000, which is not that much.
And I've actually researched into that a little bit too.
Yeah, so we teach people how to do that. So he's in it for about that price, and he's going to wear this, and when he's ready to sell it, he'll make money.
Right.
See, that's crazy because most people are like, oh, I'm just going to finance it because, dude, I'll probably just do that. But if you walk into some of these places, like I won't mention their names over here, you're gonna lose your ass. Like literally, you're gonna walk in there, you're gonna be like, oh, I'll pay you $5,000. You gotta go sell it back to them. They'll be like, I'll pay you $1,000. And you're like, what the fuck is going on, right? So crazy. It's interesting because once you know that this is $2 and you can get it for $2, you're like, oh, that's not that bad.
I would do that today, right now.
You do it today? You want to sell your watch, Alex?
You want to do it? No. You take Venmo? I mean,
Dude, he takes Venmo. So that's awesome. So I want to show you one other thing here. We got 2 watches, and I want you to tell me what your thoughts are on them and which one you think is more expensive.
Okay.
To think of your perception.
Absolutely,
we have this Rolex GMT Master 2 Root Beer, which is two-tone. Looks kind of like that Invicta you're wearing, right? Pretty cool.
Okay, cool.
We've already showed the camera. And then this Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore camo I have on, which is kind of artistic. These two. Now, these are 2 different price points. You can try to guess what the prices are, but you can tell me.
I'm not familiar with the brand.
Okay.
So just off of that basis, I mean, I would probably go with the Rolex being more expensive.
Right. So I like that. A lot of people think the Rolex is more expensive.
Right, but you know, the fact that you asked me, it's kind of a trick question, I feel like. So probably.
Well, yeah, it's a perception,
Yeah.
and technically they're both pretty the price points are a little higher. So
Right.
for this one's actually $14,000, but it resells now on the secondary market for like $17,000 to like $16,000.
Really?
So if people buy them, they're holding on to them, and then they're like, oh, if I want to let it go, I just made $2,000. So people are like, oh, it's like an investment. That's crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
This one is $31,000. So the fucking yeah. Well, yeah, you can see it on my
I
wrist.
can run really fast. So.
We got a guy waiting in the back. So anyway, the price is about, not double, but close.
Right.
Audemars Piguet is a really good brand. They're up there with Rolex, Patek
Okay.
Philippe, that type of thing. There's
Yeah.
actually a boutique over there for them. But it looks artsy, it looks weird, it doesn't look like it has the precious metals. And because people don't see it all the time, they're like, oh, I just think Rolex is the most expensive
Right.
because Rolex is all I know.
Yeah, it's an association.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing with Movado, same thing with Invicta. People are just like, oh, that's all I see,
Yeah.
so that's all I know.
Right. Right.
So it's kind of cool, man. But I appreciate your thoughts and feedback, and we're definitely gonna have to get you a Breitling, man, because you're
You're
gonna
gonna
love
hook
it.
me up. I
We'll exchange info.
I'll
We're
buy
gonna
one.
hook you up.
Look, I'm just interested in like knowing the quality of a pre-owned watch before
Right.
I buy it. Too.
Right.
That's the other thing. Is if I'm buying a certified pre-owned watch, I mean, pictures don't really do it justice all the time. There's a little insecurity with that.
100%.
Yeah.
It's about trusting the seller, making sure that it's comfortable on you,
Right.
making sure it's the right price, and making sure it's authentic.
Right,
So
right.
from your standpoint, you're like, damn, that's a lot of
Yeah.
pressure, which is why a lot of people go into those places because they're like, oh, it's a jeweler, I can trust this person, but then they get fucked in the ass,
yeah,
pardon my
yeah.
French, when they're like buying it.
Yeah.
So what we try to do is help you get comfortable with that, because then you're like, oh, as long as I'm confident, I'm only paying 2
Right on.
instead of 5.
Awesome.
No problem. So we educate people on that
All right,
shit.
cheers,
Yeah,
man.
I appreciate
Thank
you,
you very
bro.
much.
Thanks
Yeah,
a lot.
you
It was
got
good
it.
talking to you.
Nice
Thanks.
talking